Welcome parents and families. My name is Mr. Gellock and I'm going to be your child's art teacher this year at Lamberton Middle School. The following slides will explain the course list, the units that we're going to complete, and a few of the class rules and procedures that have changed this year due to the COVID-19 protocols to keep everybody safe. All right, moving forward. First, we're going to start with the course list. Art 6 and Art 7 are the same as previous years with the exception that we're only doing 3 units instead of 4. With a 4.5-week schedule rotating between cohorts, that's the amount of units that we can kind of squeeze into that time. Also with Art 8, if your child selected 2D design or 3D design last year, the art department fused those two groups together just to create an Art 8 class. They are basically going to sample a little bit of 2D design and 3D design. So they're still getting a little bit of both, but it's all in one course instead of 2. The most important thing to note from this slide is that it's important that each child completes their work during their scheduled class time as if they were in class itself. So if your child's the 3 days they're at home working virtually, they should still be checking into class at the regular times and submitting their work each day by the end of that class. I do give a little bit of leeway around 3 o'clock every day. I go offline and that's when I put in the grades. If your child submits something a little late, it's okay. They can always submit it the next day. I, of course, don't advise it, but I'm very understanding that sometimes someone just can't get the work done that they need to in the time that they have because they're at home and things come up, and I understand that. But please try to keep your child completing their work during the scheduled times to make things easiest for them as we move forward day by day. I basically just don't want anybody to fall behind. What I am understanding, my goal is that everyone gets A's and B's in my class. I tell my students this every day. But if you have any questions about late assignments or you need to explain a situation to me, I'm always available if you need to message and explain a situation as to why your child's work was late or not completed. All right, moving forward. So art materials, due to the COVID-19 safety protocols, the art department has bagged all student art materials needed for school. So basically the materials that your child has, they need to bring home every day and also bring to school every day, including their drawings. Already I've had a few students say that their parents told them not to bring their stuff, at least that's what they say. But please make sure your child brings their stuff every day so that they have something to work with in class, because normally I have communal art supplies where students can take something and then put it back in the class. But to prevent cross-contamination and anyone spreading any germs, that's why we bag the materials for your child. So please make sure they don't share them with anyone else and that they do bring them to class every day. We did that. The art department cannot guarantee replacement of any of the materials. So because the budget was so tight and we had to order materials for the whole year and all the materials are already bagged for all the students for the year, we can't guarantee the replacement. So please make sure that your child is not damaging the materials, or using them properly, and that they don't become lost. So my advice is just to take them out when they're doing the work, and then when they're done, just put it right back in their backpack. That way it has a set location, they'll never lose their materials, and I'll be ready to bring to school the next day. Again, any questions about the materials, you can always message me. Okay, so the Art 6 units, we have the first unit is going to be still life drawing, the second unit is going to be narrative art, and the third unit is going to be contemporary issues. So if your child's in Art 6, the still life drawing unit will introduce them to the basic drawing principles and techniques, using shapes to map out the objects, drawing in proportion and scale, and then also using value to create tint and shade, light and shadow, to make the object look three-dimensional, as if you can actually reach in and grab it. Unit 2, the narrative art, they're going to use their art to tell a story through their artwork, and they're going to use oil pastels to color in their work. And lastly, Unit 3, we're going to wrap up with this one. They're going to choose a contemporary issue in today's world and draw an image that expresses that issue, but then also shows some kind of problem or some kind of answer, some kind of solution to that problem. So these are going to be the 3 units they're going to start with this year. Moving to 7, Art 7, they're going to do 1-point perspective, which is a type of linear perspective, which shows depth and space. It creates the illusion that the viewer is actually in the artwork. So you can see the cityscape at the top right. That's a fun one. Unit 2 is the self-portrait. I know a lot of students have done many self-portraits in elementary school. Where this is original in middle school is that the students will take a picture of themselves and draw their portrait mathematically using a grid as demonstrated by this picture in the slide. And once that's done, they will color that in with oil pastels. Unit 3, graphic design. This is my all-time favorite unit where the students will download a program called Sketchbook, and they will create an artwork completely from their iPad. Everything's completely digital, and it's a lot of fun, and the students really seem to enjoy this. I even have 6th graders downloading it just to use for fun. It's just a really neat, free application to use to introduce students to the basic tools and icons that a lot of graphic designers use, and even animators in the beginning phases. Moving forward, the Art 8 units. So Unit 1 is 2-point perspective. So Art 8 is picking up where they left off in Art 7. Instead of having one vanishing point, they're going to have 2. So basically, it looks like you're looking at the corner of a building and not face on at the building. And then this one will actually be in color, which differs from 7th grade. Unit 2 is the emotional use of color. This is a pretty fun project where the students get to draw really any kind of imagery, any kind of scene they want, but they're going to color it in an abstract way that evokes some kind of emotion from the viewer. So whether it represents happiness or sadness or something in between, the way that they color it will project that certain emotion. And lastly, Unit 3, the cardboard relief. The first 2 units were the 2D design units, and this last one is a 3D design unit. So basically, they'll be given some cardboard in the coming week, I think by next week, and they'll take it home and they'll measure and cut and layer cardboard to make an artwork rise off the surface and create a relief. And that's it for those units. Lastly, my contact info, GellickArt@carlisleschools.org. You can message me anytime you need. I'm always here to help. And your students can also reach me at that same address or contact me through Schoology. I check that every day. I look forward to working with you and your children, and if there's anything I can do to help, I'm always here. All right, have a great day, everyone.